And he ain't used the bathroom in a week. Like urinated. So we know that's a kidney problem. But they not giving him no medical attention. When he bring it to their attention, well, he got stabbed, they took him to the hospital. Just, not the hospital, but the medical. They put him right in the hole.
The Philly King Kong is serving time behind bars, and some of the things that he's been forced to go through are absurdly painstaking. In this video, we'll go through all the messed up and excruciating things that the Philly Street King and rapper AR-AB has to go through in his disturbing life behind bars. For those of you who don't know, Abdul AR-AB West ended up behind bars because he turned his record label called Original Block Hustlers, or OBH for short, into a large-scale drug trafficking organization. According to the official story given to the public by the feds, OBH has been linked to at least one murder and a couple of more charges. As a result, AR-AB got a hefty 45-year sentence back in 2021. The main reason why the judge gave him such a high number of years to serve is because of antisocial behavior, but there's a little bit more to it. The fact that he was already in prison once before, the fact that he was connected to a murder from 2017, hell, not even the fact that he pretty much snitched on himself in his rap lyrics did not really sway the judge's decision. Something else did. Two things, actually. One, he got the 45 years because of the fact that he was going against society, specifically making a group that would conduct anti-societal business, such as selling drugs. Some of the amounts given the official Fed reports are ridiculous. And two, you have AR-AB's behavior in front of the judge during his trial. He kept his hands crossed during the whole process. He was grunting and showing how much he hates the whole system. There's a strong chance that AR-AB could have easily been given a shorter sentence if he was only acting different. Lawyer Mo Gangit said that it was AR-AB's lawyer's mistake and not really his. He could have told him to keep his cool for that 1 hour or less the trial takes. But that never happened. And now AR-AB's gonna stay in prison for a long time. Seems like a simple thing to do, yet he didn't. Made a lot of his fans sad. 45 years is insane, bro. I can't even imagine getting those numbers. Another devoted fan wrote, "A legendary honorable guy, last of a dying breed. Hashtag free the men. Hashtag free AR-AB." Be that as it may, AR-AB got a hold of his kingpin status thanks to his ruthless persona. It's his dangerous behavior that got him ahead of his rivals when it comes to the streets. It's that same bravado that made his track stand out from others too. He and his label was recognized by a lot of established music names like Dre, Cassidy, and Swizz Beatz. It's no wonder that someone such as AR-AB quickly created a group of like-minded people. The group we mentioned earlier, that goes by the name of OBH, took the whole city of Philly by its throat on a short notice and established their dominance over the other groups. The label consisted of rappers who spoke mostly about things they grew up around, such like crime, drugs, and stealing. Perhaps that made AR-AB and OBH famous, but it also attracted the attention of the wrong people. It was only a matter of time before the police got involved. That spelled trouble for AR-AB. Now he's facing what seems to be a lifelong sentence. And ever since he ended up in prison, his life's pretty much been flipped upside down. He's been having a very rough time inside, and there's a lot to be said about how the prison system is treating him. The first more in-depth information that came out about his life inside prison was in December of 2020 when his little brother Lick Moss did an interview for the interrogation room. During the interview, you could tell that Lick felt for AR-AB because some of the things that he's been going through.
Nobody knows this has never been. He got and it got infected. But when that got infected, no, it never was treated. His skin turned black. A bad John, like one-on-one. It was like he went crazy running around the block. Like, y'all killed my daughter. And just, start stabbing people.
What AR-AB suffered first was being stabbed. He fell victim to an inmate who allegedly went crazy and went around stabbing multiple people. Sadly for AR-AB, he was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and he suffered a severe head injury because of it. The guy who did it was on the phone, and he got news that his daughter either had died or had been killed. After that, he went on a rampage and hurt anyone close to him, including AR-AB. It may have been as many as 5 people. AR himself talked about that awful day during a phone call that he had in an interview with Mikey T. This is what he had to say.
That episode, he just so crazy, and he was just like,
yeah.
I was on the phone and shit, talking to, my wife and shit, and this crazy motherfucker snuck up behind me and stabbed me in the back of my head.
Since he didn't get any sort of immediate medical attention, that wound got pretty infected, probably because of the poor prison hygiene. The infection from the wound spread all across his body and skin. About 80% of his whole body was black because of it. And if you thought that was the worst part, well, we gotta disappoint you there. As if the sickness wasn't enough, he got put in the hole while this infection was spreading all over his body. Add to the fact that he didn't use the bathroom in a week, and you've got bigger problems on your hands, man. The list of his symptoms was growing, and at the time of the interview was made with Lick Moss, AR-AB wasn't sure if he was gonna stay alive for another week. He couldn't urinate for like a week, man, which meant some sort of kidney problem would be taking place if that's not treated. Well, nothing good comes from that, man. Because he was put in the hole, he caught the hives too. And they got to the point where his eyes were starting to close from all the swelling. Shortly after he was put in the hole, he blacked out. This is where he finally got some medical attention, but it didn't last for a long time. Lick Moss, his brother, didn't want to blame it on the system because at the time, the COVID pandemic was starting to pick up. Neither did he say that the nurses were ignoring him purposefully, but it's safe to say that he wasn't getting enough attention, and it made his life miserable. This is a huge issue, and a lot of people are trying to address it. The vast majority of prisoners are not getting proper health care, and that's an utter disappointment. People are being denied medical treatment left and right, and they're even afraid to ask for it. If you want to get the attention of medical experts who are responsible and down to actually do their jobs, you'd have to be seriously messed up. Otherwise, nobody's gonna care. The worst thing is, even if someone dies in jail because they didn't have proper treatment, most often it's declared a natural death. Cases such as the one that AR Ab's faced with are not exceptions. These things are real. At a dark point of almost breaking amidst a hole that he found himself in, AR Ab wasn't thinking about getting out of prison. He was only thinking about making it through the day. He got to the point of being bedridden. He couldn't move at all. Luckily for him, he had his cousin and little brother who are inmates in the same block as he. They helped him out by changing the sheets about 5 times a day from all the blood and pus coming out from his infected wounds. He even had his legs swole up and nobody really knew why. His brother speculated that AR Ab had some sort of pre-existing condition, something like palsy, but his brother and the people who went to visit him didn't really have any additional information. But after all the turmoil that went his way, he made it out alive. Not only that, but his condition is improving. He spoke about it a little bit, and this is what he had to say.
My health is like better, man. I'm working out all day. I just did 500 burpees earlier. I run for like an hour. I might do burpees for like an hour and a half straight, all burpees. That's how I work out. I lost about like 60 pounds since I've been here.
I put a lot of faith to the fans, knowing that his condition is improving. The fans are happy to see it too. Always good to hear, Ab. Keep that head high, big dog. #FreeAb. Things have been improving for AR Ab lately, and his condition's better, but his life behind bars is getting rougher now, and for reasons other than his health. Seemed like the whole OBH started falling apart. His fellow rapper Dark Low, who co-founded OBH with AR Ab, also got sentenced. He got a little over 7 years in prison for intimidating a witness by the name of Dantes Taz Stewart, who was an informant in the same case that got AR locked up. Apparently, Dark Low threatened Taz not to take the stand. Not only that, but according to the prosecutors, Dark Low also threatened Taz's girlfriend. It was rumored for a time that Dark Low was a snitch and that he ratted on AR, the guy who gave us the majority of the info from AR Ab's prison ills. Lick Moss even made a diss track, Chow Time, saying in his lyrics, "The whole time he was in that on the schedule. You ain't said he had one body, you said he had several. Did it with a smile on your face like it was pleasurable." But Dark Low was quick to deny any of those allegations. In an interview he did for Complex magazine, he said, "Why would I get locked up for writing a message to some guy that was like my little brother? And the guy gave the letter to the feds and I got picked? Dude was just basically... It always comes from the inside. It always comes from the family. It ain't coming from nowhere else but family. You know, jealousy, dudes hating. I write a letter to somebody that's testifying on my brother and I get picked up. I'll talk to the cops, whatever. I'm trying to get him out. I'm trying to make it smooth for Ab. It's uncertain as of now what's going to happen to OBH, but it sure seems like things are not going well ever since AR Ab's been locked up. Internal beef is never a good sign, and OBH clearly has some air to clear out between themselves. As for AR Ab, what are y'all thoughts on what he had to go through and is still forced to live with? When are the inmate conditions gonna change? Let us know what you think down in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure to check this next one out, and as always, remember to keep it RIZZLE.